Hello. How you doing? How you doing? As you can see, there is a PC right behind me, which means I'm gonna talk about it. But I want to let you know that this build is kind of special because I did something that I've never done before, and I did way better than I thought I was going to. Kind of proud of myself, if I'm being honest. And no, it's not because of the specs or how much I got him for, or even how well it performs when gaming. This is special because this is the first time that I've ever built a white PC and the first time that I've ever spray painted a GPU. I can't lie to you, I was kind of scared. So quick rundown of the PC here. This PC has been built from mostly used parts. And if you've been on the channel long enough, you know I love the used market. And you also know that I'm a PC flipper. So when I buy parts and build PCs, I try to find the best possible deal so that I can build a good PC while still making a profit, as well as, you know, making it look nice and aesthetically pleasing so that it's more appealing for people to buy it. You know how it goes. Now, the total cost of this PC was just over $600, which in today's market is absolutely insane, especially for a PC that looks this good. You can't even lie, man. This thing looks pretty. So I bet you're wondering right now, $600, mostly used parts, what's even in this thing, man? I'm gonna tell you because that's what I'm here for, and that's why I'm making this video. And also, if you're at my live stream, you would already know. So why weren't you there? Why are you asking these questions? You gotta tune in, man. 10 toes, man. 10 toes. All right, let's go over the specs real quick, right? CPU, we got a Ryzen 5 5600. Wow, 5600, yeah. A very solid mid-tier AM4 CPU. Let's be honest here, DDR4 is kind of the move right now, but those prices are also kind of garbage. Anyways, what I'm cooling the CPU with is the ID Cooling SE214 XT. Really basic $20 air cooler from Amazon. Don't really need anything more than this to keep the 5600 cool. The motherboard that we're working with here is the ROG Strix B550-A. Now you might be thinking, ROG Strix, that's kind of pricey, isn't it? Just wait and see. I'll tell you how much I got everything for. Just hold on here. Just a very solid AM4 motherboard. I don't really have much to say about it. It looks nice, has two M.2 slots, pre-installed IO shield, which is always nice, and it got like a mix of white and black to it, which still works with the build. For the RAM, we got 32 gigs, you heard me right, 32, of T-Force Delta DDR4, clocked at 3200 meg transfers per second with a CL rating of 16. Yes! Now, for our big boy, we got a regular RTX 2080, specifically a Zotac Gaming RTX 2080. Now, you might be looking at the thing like, brother, that's supposed to be a black GPU. I just told you I spray painted it. That's why it looks like that. Jimmy? I'm sorry, Jimmy. I love you, man. Not too much to say about it. It has 8 gigs of VRAM. Not a lot, but for this build, it's good enough. So for storage, not that great, I'll be honest with you. It is a 500 gig T-Force Gen 4 SSD. Yes, 500 gigs, not ideal. But on Newegg, they were selling this brand new for $40. And if you see the prices for 500 gig SSDs today, that is a pretty good deal. And it is a starting point since this motherboard has another M.2 slot. So if you wanted to expand your storage, you have the option of getting another SSD to add storage to it. Now the power supply is a little interesting because it's an EVGA 750 GQ. Why is that interesting? Well, because EVGA is not really a thing anymore. The power supply is an 80 plus gold, and I don't remember what tier it is on the PS3 list. I'm gonna put it up here. It is also semi-modular. Now, finally, for the case, this is a Roswell case that I got from Newegg. The name of the case isn't like a traditional name. So this is the box that it came in. That is the name right there. I'm not flicking you off. It's just, I have to point, well, just, okay, look. The ACA51, the ACA501W. This is a very solid all-white ATX case that came pre-installed with 3 fans, but you can tell that's kind of cheap. I did buy it for very cheap. Also, the case fans that it came with are mirrorless, so that's pretty cool. That is the full specs list for the PC, so I probably should tell you how I was able to get everything for $615. The CPU, the motherboard, and the RAM were actually a combo deal that I got off of Facebook Marketplace for $250. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got real lucky on that one. But I did buy this a while ago, so you're not really gonna see that kind of deal nowadays. Maybe you might if you keep looking. So yeah, that is a big reason why I was able to build this PC for such a low price. The cooler, $20 on Amazon. Nothing much to say there. Solid air cooler. Don't need anything more than that. And it's all white, so Yeah, the GPU I got from eBay for around $160, which I think is a solid price for a 2080, honestly. Power supply I actually got for 40 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. Yes, it is used, like I said before, but I was able to test it out, make sure that everything was good, and I have been running this bad boy for a very long time now with no issues whatsoever. So the power supply is solid. You don't gotta worry about it. The case itself with the case fans that are pre-installed, I got off of Newegg for $50. All right, now I want to kind of briefly talk about my experience with spray painting the GPU. Some people might hear that and think, why the hell would you spray paint your GPU? Just buy the color that you want in the first place. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. All white GPUs are expensive, and they're always gonna be expensive because that's just like the white tax. Oh, that sounds really bad. Whoa, okay. Essentially, there's a tax for getting a component all white, and it's been like that for who knows how long. So a great way to save money is to kind of, well, paint it yourself. The way I did it is I just took off the back plate and the fan cover and spray painted those parts. I did not spray paint the fan because I didn't want to risk it, just in case paint got into like spaces where it needs to spin, and if it gets stuck and it doesn't spin, then the GPU is not gonna get cooled. So I just wanted to avoid that entirely. So yeah, I set it up, I spray painted just the fan cover and the back plate, which is honestly all I really needed to spray paint just to make this all white. I believe for each part I did 4 coats. I don't know what the standard amount of coats is for spray painting your GPU, but that's what I did, and as you can tell, it worked out. It was a lot of waiting. I just really had to be patient because I believe you have to wait at least 24 hours for the spray paint to fully dry. Regardless, I did way better than I thought I did, and I'm actually really proud of myself for doing this, and I'm happy that I did it because I basically just gained a new skill in PC building, and that's always a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Now that all the boring stuff's out the way, we can get to the meat and potatoes of this video, which is the gaming performance of this PC. Since this PC is a 5600 and 2080 build, the best gaming experience you're gonna get is if you play at 1080p. But this 2080 is able to stretch to 1440p, obviously with some upscaling help. I was able to test this in both 1080p and 1440p, and the results were kind of as expected, but might surprise you anyway. For 1080p, let's start with Cyberpunk. On ultra settings with no upscaling, I was getting a smooth 80 FPS. In Arc Raiders, I mean, if you still play Arc Raiders anyway, I'm not sure if people even play that game anymore. I was getting a solid 75 FPS on epic settings with no upscaling. Not the best FPS for a game like that, but turning on upscaling and everything will definitely give you more FPS. Lastly, in Marvel Rivals, I was getting 155 FPS on low settings with no upscaling as well, which is honestly very solid, especially for a game like Marvel Rivals. Now, for those same 3 games at 1440p, things definitely did change. As in Cyberpunk, I was getting 61 FPS on high settings with no upscaling. In Arc Raiders, I was getting 72 FPS on epic settings with DLSS actually turned on and set to quality. In Marvel Rivals, I was still getting a pretty high FPS count of 133 FPS on low settings, but I did have to set DLSS to performance. At 1440p, not bad, honestly. Obviously, you're probably not going to be playing at these settings, so lowering the settings is going to give you more FPS. I did test 14 total games at both 1080p and 1440p, and that video will be out soon. If you want to get the entirety of my benchmarks, stay tuned. All in all, at 1080p, this thing, it cooks. If you're playing esports games, you probably want to stick to 1080p, but if you wanted to bump it up to 1440p for the AAA titles, I believe it can handle it with some upscaling help. And you're not gonna have to break the bank for it. Now, obviously, there's no guarantee you're gonna get all these specs for the prices that I got them at, but that's the whole point of deal hunting. People might be able to get this same PC for even cheaper. It's just dependent on how well they're able to find these deals, or if the area that they live in is just better than mine. What do you guys think of this PC? Do you love how well it looks? Do you love how it's all white? Do you love the aesthetics of it? Do you think the price is worth this PC based off of the specs and the performance? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you to those who were joining my live stream while building this PC. Had a great time with you guys. I want to apologize for not streaming for a very long time and taking forever to make this video, and keep an eye out for the next video. I got something cooking up that might really surprise you.